Trump versus Harris battle intensifies. Who is leading in the pre-poll surveys? Major news surveys make big claims. Who is ahead in the U.S. election race? Can Harris defeat Trump in November elections? Or will former president re-enter White House? The U.S. presidential election is neck and neck, with both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump leaving no stone unturned to get edge over each other. With just a month and a half until the polling action, the stakes are higher than ever before following the intense presidential debate. Remember, when the election race first began between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, it was more like a rematch of the 2020 polls. However, President Biden ended his re-election bid after his debate with former President Trump. He endorsed VP Harris for the top job. Harris entered the polls as the presidential candidate. Things took a wild turn in favor of the Democratic Party, who suddenly seemed to receive lost oxygen in their camps. But now the big question is who is leading in the pre-poll surveys. The latest polls, after the September debate between Trump and Harris, show Vice President Kamala Harris leading. Reuters as well as a YouGov poll both claimed that Donald Trump had lost out on the second presidential debate, even though he had amassed a massive approval rating after the first one against Joe Biden. Meanwhile, these polls have also claimed that nationally, the current status of Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris feud stands in a very hung state. The first major pre-poll survey after debate showed Vice President leading by 5 points against rival Donald Trump. According to the survey conducted by Reuters, Ipsos 47% of registered voters backed Harris compared to 42% who said they will vote for Trump in November elections. Another survey by Yahoo News/YouGov claimed that Harris has garnered 50% of the vote in a head-to-head matchup against Trump, who stands at 45%. Even when third-party candidates are included, Harris maintains a lead of 5 points. The new Yahoo poll surveyed over 1,700 U.S. adults. The lead is some relief for Harris, who had been locked in a close race with Trump in previous surveys. Her best showing before the debate was a narrow 47% to 46% lead in August. According to reports, the boost in Harris's support can be directly linked to her debate performance, which appears to have swayed critical swing voters. These two major polls, conducted right after the U.S. presidential debate, claim that nationally, Harris is still ahead of Trump, but only by some fractions, meaning that things could topple over at the slightest chance if the Republicans pull any trick out of their hats at the last minute.